And Kate Weston as well. If you've been watching Night Air and enjoying it, you will have seen the Red Devils. They're here on the front of this fabulous program. By the way, if you haven't picked up a program yet, make sure you do, because it's jam-packed with information, and of course £1 goes to the charities. But I have a Red Devil with me here this evening. Sergeant Baz Loftus, you have just literally dropped from the skies to join us here in Bournemouth. Thank you so much. You're part of the parachute regiment, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Every member of the Red Devils is a serving soldier of either the 1st, the 2nd or the 3rd Battalion, the parachute regiment. Yes, I've been doing the commentary for tonight's display, and we are waiting on 3 of the other team members arriving.
I know, we were hoping there'd be
Yeah.
more of us, but if we see them coming, we'll sort of drag them up here.
Yeah.
But you'll do.
Oh,
You'll
thank
do.
you
You
very
know
much.
loads about it. So, I mean, what is the parachute regiment, sort of the Red Devils? What are they all about? Is this about, you know, bringing your skills out to the public and recruiting?
Well, we are a recruiting. We are for recruiting for the British Army.
Yeah.
So what we do displays up and down the country. And after our display, we then interact with members of the public and explain to them how to join the British Army, and more predominantly the parachute regiment, give them any information that they require on that.
Now, in order to be a Red Devil, I mean, what do you need to do in order to apply for that?
Well, it's quite easy, really. All you've got to do is join the British Army, more specifically, the Red Devils. Serve a minimum of 3 years in either the 1st, 2nd or 3rd Battalion, the parachute regiment. Do 1 operational tour, and then you're free just to apply to join the team, where you come and do a little bit of a selection process with our guys, and we judge you whether you were suitable to join the team or not.
And what sort of guys are suitable to be Red Devils? What skills and qualities do you need? Well,
we want to represent the parachute regiment as much as possible, so we try to spread the guys evenly as we can over 1, 2 and 3 para. But we're looking for guys, obviously, that have got a natural ability in skydiving and parachuting. We're looking for guys that can talk to lovely people like yourself and interact with members of the public, and also people with a bit of sort of general knowledge on how to join the military.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's easy, isn't it? Don't you just throw yourself out of a plane? It's simple, isn't it?
Well, we make it look simple, but I'm afraid not. I'm afraid it's quite a technical sport. I mean, the difference from, let's see if I can show you on the camera, the difference from falling like that or falling like that would be turning right. So little tiny adjustments of your body will dictate what you do in that air.
And so show us some other adjustments. So just a touch of the hand or a twist of the hand turns you right, turns you left.
Yeah. Or you can use your knees.
Right.
Now to go backwards, you'd push your hands out in front of you, which will catch more air in front of you and push you backwards. Also, if you wanted to go forwards, you'd do the same with your legs, push them out to the rear, which would send you forwards. Now, you can imagine you're falling through the sky at 120 miles an hour, and there may be sort of 3, 8, 50 other guys in the sky, and you've got to fly your body to the exact point in the air as to meet up with all the other guys. So there's a lot more to it than just jumping out of an aeroplane.
And presumably, do you use the canopy if you want to slow down?
Well, that's before the canopy is deployed.
Of course, I'm forgetting that you're actually free falling at that point, aren't you?
Yeah. So once that canopy is deployed, that's when the real sort of tricky business of the Red Devils comes in, because we jump in arenas as small as 50 metres by 100 metres. Now, if you imagine what 50 metres by 100 metres looks like from 2,000, 4,000,
what
5,000.
Does it look like? A postage stamp,
Well,
I
it looks
expect.
quite small, yes. And you've got to get that canopy into the exact right position in that sky to land exactly where you want to land it. And it takes a lot of practice. I think the minimum number of jumps on one of our display jumpers today was 800. So it's quite an experienced team. And then we've got people all the way up to sort of Sergeant Mark Scobie with, I think he's got about 5,000 to 6,000 jumps now, you know, very experienced man.
Do you, after all these jumps, get nervous?
I personally, I don't get nervous about jumping out of an aeroplane, because we jump out of airplanes all the time. But you do get nervous about not making a mistake. You want to do the very best, put on the very best performance for the guys on the ground, and you know, you don't want to let yourself down, the regiment down, and definitely you don't want to let the Red Devils down.
Conditions here today are a little bit breezy. I mean, was there a thought that maybe you wouldn't jump tonight, and how did you make the decision to jump?
Yeah, I was explaining a little bit earlier on what we have to do. We are governed by rules and regulations, and safety is always at the forefront of our mind. So what we have to do before each display, we have to fly overhead at 2,000 feet. The jump master will throw out of the aircraft door a wind drift indicator. Now that'll fall to the ground, and what that does, it basically looks like a multicolored toilet paper if you're standing on the ground, but it does a really important job. It assesses the wind drift of a canopy from 2,000 feet all the way down to the ground.
Right.
Now, here's the rules and regulation bit. If that wind drift indicator lands more than 1 kilometre away from where we're supposed to land, then legally we're not allowed to jump.
So who then has to trot off and find?
Well, we use
that little piece?
biodegradable material, so
Oh,
we're
okay.
there.
And you can tell where it's going to land. You can judge. Now, presumably, the sort of parachutes that you would use in a display here today are different from the sort of parachutes you would use in operations.
Yes. The military, the parachute regiment arrive to a battlefield by the big round parachutes. They're not very steerable, and you come to the ground as quickly as possible, because you can imagine under enemy fire, you don't want to be in the air for very long.
No.
As where the canopies we use are sports parachutes. They're square, they're much more steerable, and you've got a lot more control on what you can do with them. We use a number of different types of parachutes for the Red Devils. We have the fast canopies, they're sabres. They're very small compared to the bigger ones that I'll talk about in a minute. They're about 120 square foot. Now, they fly pretty quickly, and they lose height very quickly as well. So the jump master, who will be setting the landing pattern for the whole team, he'll be jumping one of them. And as he steers that canopy in, his feet will be touching the ground at speeds of up to 40 miles an hour.
Wow. So, I mean, how does he land without hurting himself? Is that a silly question?
No. It's practice. And these canopies that we use, they're very sort of manoeuvrable. So they have a toggle on the right, you pull that, you turn right. They have a toggle on the left, you pull that, you turn left. Now, if you pull them both together, it stalls the canopy or slows the canopy right down and enables you to come for a nice soft landing where you want to. So we have that type of canopy.
Yep.
And then you saw, for the Eagle Eye about there, you saw the canopy formation team. Now they use a bit more of a sort of slower, more docile, stronger canopy, which is the lightning canopies we use. They do the canopy formation work. Now what that actually is they'll be flying around the sky, and they will crash or do a controlled collision of canopies where they'll hit their body off another person's canopy, grab hold of that canopy in the air, pull themselves down the line, and hook themselves to each other.
Wow.
And then when the canopy pilot, who we're hoping will arrive shortly, which is Danny.
I think they're in the bar, to be honest.
It's looking that way, isn't it?
You're doing fine. Don't you worry.
Thank you very much. Yeah. So when Danny says that it's good to go, he'll dictate to the other guys to pull right on one parachute, left on the other.
So
and you saw them separate.
So it's all being orchestrated by one of the guys literally in the air.
Yes,
You're following his commands.
Yes, he'll be shouting to the other guys. We haven't got any microphones or anything up there. It's all just shouting to each other. And, you know, it doesn't come easy. Every year we have to go away as a team. We go to California, where each member of the team will conduct about 100 jumps. Every single one of them jumps will be assessed by our team leader, Corporal Nathan Connolly. He'll write a little line about every single jump we do. Now, at the end of that 3-week period, he'll have a look through all of his notes, and he'll decide whether you've met the standard to take part in the display season of the Red Devils. If he says yes, then you'll be jumping into events like today. And if he says no, then unfortunately you've got to wait another year.
So when you've been chosen, how long is it before you actually can be part of the team and actually jump and perform, if you like, in the display?
Okay, well, you have to conduct a team training. So if you arrive just before a team training and Corporal Connolly feels that you're at the standard at the end of it, then it could be as short as sort of 3-4 weeks.
Oh,
if,
right.
if you arrive just after a team training, then it could be 12 months. So it just depends on when you arrive.
Now, I did hear a sneaky rumour that the public can come and do tandem
Yes,
jumps
they can.
now, which I think sounds amazing. I mean, do you know anything about that? I mean,
A little bit.
Can we
Okay.
go online and find out how we can do it?
Well, I'll explain a bit about it as well. If you go onto our website, www.reddevilsonline.com,
Okay.
there's a section there that says Jump With Us. If you just follow the links there, it's very simple, and we'll explain exactly how to go about one of them days. But if you decided, Kate, to come down and do one of them jumps with us,
Yeah.
well, you come down to one of two venues. We have a sort of south one, which is near Salisbury Plain,
Yep.
and we have a north one, which is near Nottingham. So you just sign yourself on one of the Red Devils bespoke tandem days there. You come down, you'd receive a bit of ground training from one of our tandem instructors. He'll explain exactly what you need to do, what's expected from you, and what he will do that day. Then it's nice and simple. He'll strap you to an instructor. You'll go out to a plane.
I like the sound of that bit. I really do.
You'll go out to the plane. You're
Yeah.
looking at about a 15 to 20-minute flight.
Yeah, how high are we going to go?
Oh, just to 12,500 feet.
12,500 feet. It's nothing.
Yeah.
Piece of cake.
Yeah. You'll be strapped to your instructor, shuffle to the edge of the aircraft, where you will rock yourself off the aeroplane and fall through the sky for about 45 seconds, reaching speeds of about 120, 140 mile an hour. Now, at about 5,000 feet, the instructor will deploy the parachute, and then you come in for a nice leisurely flight of about 5 minutes, landing nice and safely on the ground.
Do you know, Baz, I'm liking the sound of that. Baz, thank you so much for talking to us today. There is clearly so much more to your job than we can, possibly realise. So I hope we're going to see some more of you across this weekend, are we?
Yes, absolutely. We will be jumping tomorrow evening and I believe Friday evening and Saturday evening, both around the sort of 8:20 mark.
Fantastic. I'm so looking forward to it. Thank you so much for talking to us today, Baz. That's brilliant.
Okay, no problem.
So you heard it here first. If you fancy, being strapped to a para, just go online and book yourself a tandem skydive with the Red Devils. But if you fancy doing some flying, perhaps in a plane or in a helicopter, well, this might be for you too.